Aristotle said, well, you can have some kinds of happiness, which fulfill very basic desires, but unfortunately, they are not going to do very much good beyond the self. They're not going to be very enduring, and they're not going to be very deep. And what he meant by that is, pervasive just means, some form of happiness. So if I'm happy, this happiness is going to seep out to a whole bunch of other people, maybe seep out to my family, or maybe it's just going to affect me, and that's it. So he said, I'll say that a more pervasive happiness is a better kind of happiness because it's going to affect more people. And then he comes back and he says, I think a more enduring happiness is a better kind of happiness. So if a happiness level, well, maybe it lasts for a half an hour, well, that's not that great. But if happiness could last for years, or indeed a lifetime, or indeed an eternity, why, that would be much better happiness than shorter versions of happiness. So he said, yeah, the enduring thing. But there's what he calls deep. And what he meant by a deep form of happiness is one that fulfills all of the characteristics, all of the needs or desires of a human being. So not just your desire for food and shelter, those are basic and important, no doubt, but we have much higher desires than that, right? So higher, just think of higher like deep. We have higher desires like love, where we want to empathize with others, to do good for others, to make a difference to others, etc. There's also intellectual desires. Aristotle viewed those very highly, where we could actually make a contribution through our thought, through our creativity, make them, not just better technologies, but, have a reflection on life that would better the quality of life if we studied it, if we knew about it. And so he thought all of these desires, intellectual, of course, the desire for the good was really important to Aristotle, certainly to all the classical philosophers and medieval ones as well. Plato surely thought the same thing. So the desire for justice that goes beyond the self, the desire too for virtue, those good classical virtues that we call the cardinal virtues, fortitude, the stick-to-itness, the perseverance, to keep going there, and the courage to keep going. Also temperance, right, to resist passions when those passions can become destructive. The virtue also to pursue justice as an end. That would be, the classical highest virtue. And then prudence, of course, being the wisdom to know what to do to get the highest form of justice, to get the most significant kind of life. And that's, at the end of the day, what Aristotle wanted. Significant, meaningful life that touched other people on highest levels as well as basic levels, but to touch them on those levels and to have it be as enduring as it could be.